Hello and welcome to Unleashed. I'm your host, Will Bachman. Today we have another host to talk to us about an AI tool. I'm happy to welcome Fred Brouillet, who is the founder of Learning Frontier. You can find out their site at LearningFrontier.ai. Fred, welcome to the show.
Thanks a lot, Will, and thanks a lot for having me here.
So, Fred, why don't you give us a high-level overview of what is LearningFrontier.ai all about? And then I know you're going to share your screen and give me a demo, which I will kind of narrate what I'm seeing to the audience. So walk us through, what does Learning Frontier do?
Okay, perfect. So I believe the best way to explain it, this is everyone has this feeling of going through a book and wanted to speak with the author. And you can be very frustrated, but I don't really understand this piece here. I really would like to understand that better and talk with the author. And of course, books are static and you cannot really do that. But with AI today, you have now the opportunity to create an experience conversation where you can talk with the author and you change the static knowledge into a dynamic knowledge that works very well with coaching, for instance. And so what we are creating, these are AI clone or avatar of famous author in the lean space, but not only in the lean space, but we are starting in the lean space that you can then interact with. And why this is interesting, this is because imagine you as a user reading your book. It's very expensive to have access to an expert, and therefore you buy the book, but you might not know how to apply it, execute it. But of course, let's say if you can start with an AI avatar of the author that guide you, coach you for the implementation, straight away it becomes very interesting. For the expert, the limitation, this is that there is only one of them. So you can only talk with one person at a time. If you have an AI avatar, straight away you can scale to 100, 1,000, 10,000 people that you can talk with at the same time. And for the company, of course, if you want to scale, again, your expert knowledge, it becomes very much a logistic issue, a financial issue. And this is really the space that we are getting into. We are trying to improve the way coaching is being done today because we feel that at least in the lean space, this is a bit of a bottleneck, and we are trying to do that with AI Avatar.
Great. So why don't you share your screen and kind of walk me through the tool?
Of course, perfect. So very quickly, so this is our landing page. So before we dive straight in, so we have great authors that have joined the platform. We have 6 Shingo Prize from the past 3 years that have joined the platform. So for the people who don't know, the Shingo Prize, let's say this is the Nobel equivalent, I would say, for everything that is related to lean and operational excellence. And so we have great authors that have joined the platform. But in addition to that, we are also giving access to a great thinker of the past, Kant, Nietzsche, Freud, etc., etc., and that you can use as well, let's say, for your company's problematic. Let's say, you take Kant about ethics or about leadership, and you can really start talking, let's say, with a philosophical book and try to apply it in the context of your company. And so all together, we are starting with more than 100 authors live on the platform between the new authors and the classic authors. So now going into the platform, the way it works is very simple. So we have a section for a library, and on this library, you can buy your book or just get access to all the books that you have in your library. And just like in Apple Book or Kindle, you can start reading your book. So far, so good, let's say. There is nothing impressive. This is what you will find on Apple Book or Kindle. You can just read your book in the normal way. Where the platform starts to shine, this is that you can then start chatting with your book. Start chatting with your book just like you would do it on ChatGPT, for instance, except that here we have access to private knowledge. On ChatGPT, you only have access to public knowledge. Here you have bought the book, therefore you are able to start chatting with the book. So here, for instance, we are going to start chatting with my own book, which is called Frontier Lean. And this is specifically a book about how do I implement digital lean in Microsoft 365. And I can just start very simply in asking, okay, so summarize the book for me. And just like you would have in any, let's say, generative AI platform, this is going to start summarizing the book for me. The difference here, this is that this is going to give me the citation of the book. And so this is going to attach at the bottom all the pages that it has used to put the answer together. And I can just then click on this page and have access to the page of the book that I might be more interested in. And this is going to show at the bottom, like, which passage it has used to do that, etc., etc. So now, where it becomes a bit science fiction, this is that then you can start talking with just a voice version of the author or an AI clone version of the author. So this is what we are going to do right now. And we are going to start talking with an AI version of myself. So I'm going to start the video call just now. And you can see this is a version of me of a couple of months ago. I believe it was put together in January. So we have several different ways of putting together an avatar. We can do it starting from a picture that we then animate, or we can start it from a video recording. And each time that we are onboarding an author on the platform, we are creating their own AI avatar. So for the author, this is a free service, let's say. So this is one of the reasons why they are keen to join the platform. This is because they are not paying for it. We are giving them the option to join the platform and sell their book, just like they would do on Apple Book or Kindle, except that they have this additional service of having an AI avatar that speaker can interact with. So I'm on mute right now, so you can see my avatar waiting for me and waiting for me to start engaging. So now I'm going to open the mic and I'm going to make sure that my avatar understands that he is not the real me. Hi, Fred. Are you the real Fred?
I'm Frédéric Brouillet in Voice and Guidance, bringing the same insights you'd get from me in person. I'm here to help you digitalize Lean inside Microsoft 365, just like in the book. Let's dive into your real-world challenges and make Lean work smarter for you. What's on your mind today?
So now, one of the things that I'm being asked very often, this is, okay, so it's very cool. I can start talking with a book, but your book has also limitations. And maybe I'm going to ask things that he doesn't know, how your AI avatar is going to react in those cases. And the way it works, this is that it's a coaching avatar. So this is going to ask questions, just like as a consultant you will do. You arrive in companies, you don't know everything, but you are trained, let's say, to ask the right questions to understand better the context. And this is exactly what the avatar would do. Similarly, or in addition to that, there are some ground knowledge in the models that we use. So for instance, I can be a mining company and ask my avatar questions about, or in the mining context, he will not know everything about mining, but he will know what the mine is. He might know, let's say, the main knowledge, let's say, ground knowledge about the mine without that being in my book. So if we go further, let me ask him that. Fred, so how will you react if I'm asking you questions that you don't know?
You're right to ask. Think of me as your digital guide powered by the same principles. I'd be upfront and let you know if it's outside what's covered in the book or my guidance. Then I'd pivot to exploring your challenge, asking a couple of clarifying questions, and applying what we can, especially around digitalizing Lean in Microsoft 365. Let's try it out. What's your first question?
So Will, is there anything that you would like to ask the avatar?
What is your favorite lean diagnostic?
Fred, what is your favorite lean diagnostic?
I'd say my favorite Lean diagnostic is the digital twin of a value stream map built in Microsoft 365. You can use Visio in Teams, tie it to live data in Power BI, and run diagnostics continuously, not just as a snapshot. It's where Lean really gets supercharged.
And so a great way to use that is for coaching purpose. So this avatar has a memory. So I'm going to switch off the avatar now, and you will see that all what we discussed has also been translated into script in the background. And you can go from text to voice if you are in your car to this video call, and this keeps the memory on. So like, you can have like, let's say every day a 20 minutes conversation with your avatar, and stop and start again, because like continuous improvement is not a linear curve. Sometimes you need to go away, look for information, come back and talk with your avatar. This understand exactly this process. And this is one of the big differences, let's say, with ChatGPT, for instance. If you ask a questions to ChatGPT about lean or continuous improvement, if you ask him, I'm having this issue in my company, what should I do? This is going to give you a long answer with a lot of options. This avatar is not going to react at all like that. This is going to start asking you questions so he can understand better the context. This is going to ask you as well to go on the game bar and collect information if you need to, etc., etc. So this has been set up in a totally different way. This is like really bespoke for coaching, consulting, and continuous improvement. Another great feature that I like outside of the video call, if we go back to the chat, this is that we are also building agentic experience through the chat that are lean specific. And so, for instance, we have like this A3 problem solving mode, where this is going to follow the 8 steps for problem solving used by Toyota. Toyota Kata as well. This is an approach, let's say, for coaching that is very, let's say, popular at the moment in North America. So we have a specific mode for that. And we are even launching just now a new mode to build your value stream map. So like you can, or now we are able to build map in real time based on your coach conversation. So what you need to imagine, this is, just like you would have discussion with your coach or your consultant that would ask you, where does the process start? Where does it end? What is happening in the middle? What are the pain points? When you do that, this is then building a value stream map that you can then take and edit. So if we do an example just here for this A3 problem solving mode. So again, let's take a financial services example, and let's say, okay, I'm working in retail banking. We are having issues with our mortgage application process, and process cycle time has gone up from 5 to 12 days. Help me with that. So like typically, and we could do the test, if I ask that to ChatGPT, this is going to try to give me an answer straight away. Options, etc., but this will try to give me an answer straight away. Here, this is not what happened at all. So if I press start, and by the way, this mode that we are doing in chatting, we can do it in exactly the same way based on this AI avatar conversation that we were having earlier on. So right now, what this is doing, this is, okay, so thanks for bringing a real problem. That's the best way to work with A3. So let's work step by step. And step 1, we need to clarify the problem. You said mortgage application cycle time, increasing from 5 days to 12 days. But now I need more information from you. This is not enough. This is exactly, let's say, what would happen with a consultant. It would be, okay, thank you. It's just the starter of a conversation. So now let's deep dive into that. So when you say cycle time, what is the starting point what is the starting point to start measuring it, and the end point for the measure? And what are we talking about? Are we talking from a customer standpoint, from a business standpoint, for your team standpoint, etc., etc.? And what I feel as well is very valuable, this is, and for people learning, because all of this process, this is all about learning, let's say, the right approach and methodology. This is that on the back of that, we are also giving the coach thinking. So why do I ask you this question? What there is behind that? And so like you can understand, like this is not something randomly generated, but I'm asking you those questions for a reason, and you can then apply them for yourself in your real life. Then what is quite cool, this is that at the same time, you have this A3 that is being built. And so if I click on that, on the right-hand side, I have my A3 that is being open, and this is going to show me the 8 steps for problem solving used by Toyota. And I can then start generating my A3 based on what I've given in terms of information. And yeah, sorry, I have an issue right now. But like this is then going to update that as we go along. So as I start speaking with that, this is then going to update this A3 as we go along without me clicking refresh, etc., etc. It's purely I'm having my conversation with my agent, have my A3 being built for me that I can then review, export, pull into my Microsoft Word, etc.
All right. So if a listener of the show has published a book and they would like to get it listed on your tool on LearningFrontier.ai, how would they go about doing that?
So they can just reach out to me directly on LinkedIn, so Frédéric Brouillet, or reach out to us on LearningFrontier.ai. So this is free for anyone to put their book on the platform. So from a financial standpoint, how does it work? We are making money in selling our application. And so for user, our application is a monthly subscription. You need to pay £20 per month to have access to LearningFrontier.ai and use the AI avatar. Then from there, you have access to all the books that are in the public domain already. And so you will have close to 100 books. And this will be my book, Frontier Lean. This will be the classic book from a philosopher or from Taylor, from Ford, etc., etc. All of those books that are in the public knowledge, they are there available on the application, on Learning Frontier. But then you can build, in addition to that, let's say your shelf, your library of the books that are not in the public knowledge and that you want to buy. And typically there, someone reach out to me and wants to add their book there, then people will start buying the book. Just let's say it's cost £10 on Amazon or $10 on Amazon. They want to sell it for the same price here on Learning Frontier. The user pay $10 and then for the rest of his life, he has it available in his bookshelf, in his library on the platform, and he can then start interacting with the knowledge base that this book is and talk with an AI avatar version of the author.
Fantastic. All right, great. And so if you want to be a subscriber, you would pay £20 a month. And then you, if you want to purchase individual books, you also have to pay for the book.
Exactly. It's a one-off cost for the book. So like, yeah, I believe that this is like the difference to do. Let's say us as a platform, we have like a lot of cost, let's say, to use the AI avatars, the model, etc., etc. So this is the reason why, let's say, this is subscription based because we need to pay for all of this AI in the background. But in doing that, you also get access to close to 100 books, which is my book plus all the classic authors that are already, let's say, in the public domain. And then on top of that, you can add all the books that you want. And this is not all the books that you want, all the books that are already on the platform. And this is a one-off cost each time. So you buy this new knowledge base. And so, for instance, as author, we have like a lot of very famous lean authors. So if I take one of them, for instance, Bob Emiliani, you buy the book of Bob Emiliani, and then you have access to the book of Bob Emiliani, and you can start chatting with Bob Emiliani directly on the platform. Or not Bob Emiliani directly, but an AI version of Bob Emiliani on the platform.
Fantastic. Okay, so this is a tool particularly for folks interested in lean, because that's where your library is deep at the moment, who want to study up and be able to interact with kind of an avatar of an expert. Amazing. And we've shared I mentioned the website a few times, LearningFrontier.ai. We'll include that link in the show notes. And also, Fred, we can include your LinkedIn URL in the show notes if people want to contact you directly. Thanks for joining today and for sharing your tool.
Thanks a lot, Will. Thanks a lot for having me.